Alrighty guys, Explore here. In the last video I had actually showed a little bit of our base, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you guys out and I'm going to show you guys, obviously we have a T-Rex here, we've got an Allosaurus here, we've got a bunch of big old Carnos here, but my favorite Carno is going to be the Therizinosaurus, and the reason why is a couple of reasons right here. As you can see, I can farm berries on this thing, and that's actually very, very helpful whenever you're looking at actually keeping your dino alive, because I'm not seeing very many berries being farmed. I wonder if this guy's full. No, he's not full. I wonder what's going on here. Interesting. Oh, there we go. I guess I was in a bad patch of berries. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make sure the door is closed, just because we do have a few random things that spawn around here. Not too dangerous. And I'm getting a little lag, and I apologize for that, guys. But not too dangerous around here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing out here, and we're going to see what we can do as far as some mayhem goes. I've seen a couple videos that say that this is the dino that actually combats the T-Rex as far as actual just damage and ability to withstand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a few base stats here. Obviously this thing is level 246. I tamed it at, like, I think it was 140. So you get an additional tame on top of it and everything else, but I've got 10,000 HP, I've got almost 1,500 stamina, and of course my melee damage is almost 366%, so a huge amount there, and the weight's not bad. 600 weight is not a bad weight to have at all, and especially when you're looking at all the stuff he has on him. These berries, as much as they don't look like they weigh a lot, you're looking at a lot of weight here when you're looking at just stacks upon stacks of 100, because you're looking at that. We're going to get rid of something I don't normally get rid of, and that is spoiled meat. That's only to get the video going. Here's a couple parasaurs, though. So as you can see, he hits extremely quickly, and he gathers extremely well. The only bad part is you're gonna see it if you come over here and you hit something next to like a tree. His gathering resource for wood is through the roof. So what we just did is we gathered 100, 200, 300, 400, almost, dude, over 400 wood with a few hits. So if you're fighting something like a T-Rex or maybe even an Alpha Raptor, Alpha Carno, or whatever else it is in an area to where there are trees around, you've got to really maintain your distance from the trees and stuff like that, because if not, what you may end up finding yourself doing is in a situation to where you're trying to get out of somewhere and you simply can't because you're overbearing, because you've got 1,400 wood on you. So just keep that in mind if you are using the Therizinosaurus. Here we go. We've got a Rex fighting a couple. Well, actually, it looks like we got two Rex. I'm going to go ahead and nab the stuff off of this thing real fast. But now that looks like a dangerous situation. I see an Alpha over in the corner. Let's see what that actually is. It looks like a Rex. So that is something I probably don't want to mess with. A 140 Alpha Rex. So that may be something that we're going to go ahead and turn the other direction. Just for the simple fact that I like this creature a lot. It took a long time to tame, and I'm not really in a position at this point to really get out of the way. I'm not really in a position to lose him, but in the same boat, I don't know that he would lose. It's just one of those things where I did spend quite a while getting this guy, and it's just at this point I don't really feel. Now that right there, my friends, is going to be the illustrious Microraptor. Obviously on this mount he's not going to attack us. He looks at us as a much higher predator, so he's just going to walk around. But what I'm going to do is, dude, as you can see, that took 2 hits for something so tiny. They're rather mean, and they've been spawning over here rather more often, which has actually made us actually contemplate moving the base itself. But the reason so is when they jump at you, they take you off your mount. They stun you for, I think it's like 8 seconds. See, there's a couple more. It's just getting out of control. I'm not really sure that I want to be in this area anymore. But they obviously not going to do it to this mount because it's larger. But if we come out here on these little riding mounts, like for example the Saber-tooth, the Raptor, or even one of my gathering mounts, such as my my Doedicurus or Ankylosaur, they knock you off of it, and at that point you are virtually incapable of doing anything at all. And God forbid you're actually in a combat situation where you're fighting something else. It stuns you off of your mount. Now when you're on your mount, you don't take personal damage on your actual character itself. So that makes it really great to be on a mount. But if you get knocked off your mount, like my mount for example has 10,700 HP. I think I have 250. So you can see the difference in survivability when it comes to that stuff. So we've actually been contemplating getting out of here. Now this area over here is actually kind of interesting. I found it the other day and I didn't even mean to. But I saw this opening right here, and I took my dino in, and I was like, okay, well this seems weird. This looks almost like a cave. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to take the Dino any farther, which is what I just did. But I did pump some points into oxygen just earlier. And this looks almost as if it goes out into the ocean. Now, if you're looking at the map and you're looking at actually where we are as conjuncture to where the ocean is, this can't go into the ocean unless the ocean goes under the actual islands itself. We're going to go until we get to the point of past no return, and then we're going to head back. But I don't understand where this actually goes, because it looks like it goes into just a giant hole. Now, I'm not quite the level to get my scuba gear yet, but I can promise you guys, once I do, we're going to go explore this, because I've never explored it yet. But right now it's a little too risky to go down there. I mean, you get past it, half it, air. At that point, you can't get back, and then of course you die in an area you can't get your stuff. Now, my Therizinosaur actually swims a little faster than I do, but not near fast enough to get to the levels that we need to get to down there, in my opinion, to actually make any kind of actual discovery. But very cool little area. Was very unfamiliar of it, and I played this internet before, so we're definitely going to check it out and see what's down there. It may be nothing, it may be something really, really cool, but like I said, you'll never know unless you go out there and explore, which is what ARK is all about. Now, this is another thing I really like about the Therizinosaurus, is the little things like the Dilophosaurus. They won't really attack you when you're on this thing, which is great, because all they do is they spit that shit at you that makes you, you can barely see and you're slow and everything else, blah, blah, blah. I just don't like it. And so having that ability to avoid some of that. Now, one thing I will say is that I don't know exactly what they're called, but there's a dinosaur that jumps at you and steals your stuff. One of the most annoying dinosaurs in the game. Thank you, ARK developers, for making it. It will still attack you. It doesn't necessarily steal your stuff. I think that we've got some... No, these are Troodons, aren't they? Yeah, the Troodons are probably one of the other annoying things in the game. Yeah, see, they're already damaging my guy as far as torpor. But the good thing about this guy is that the torpor on this guy is massive. It took me a ton of arrows to get this guy down. So I'm just trying to get these Troodons out of the way. Not only for the fact that I don't want Troodons around, but for the fact that I honestly don't know what the Troodons can do. So I don't know if you guys have followed where I've gone, but if you go down through that ruins area, you're going to come down here to a little pass. And I know the water drops seem so enticing until you realize that there's probably 12 piranhas around it that are just going to eat your face. But out here, there's going to be a small little island sitting in the middle of this little reservoir. And this island's great. The reason it's great is not because it's just a great island. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that stamina goes up pretty slow, but watch how fast it goes up on this Therizinosaurus. I'm already full stamina right now. I just keep going. I stopped for, a couple of seconds. I couldn't even have checked a text message. And my guy's ready to go. I mean, this truly is probably, in my opinion, one of the best dinosaurs in the game to have. The only bad part is, that, like I said, it takes berries to tame, so you can't do that real quick prime meat tame that a lot of the other carnivores you can do. You have to use mayho berries or kibble. I've never been a huge kibble guy. I don't like to go harvest eggs and all that other BS, but I guess I'm going to have to want a couple of these things. But down here, you've actually got 1, 2, 3, and I think I see a fourth one over here, but you've got oil nodes and a bunch of silica pearls. So, due to the fact that I did pump some into oxygen, we can take our Therizinosaurus down here and we can actually find oil and silica pearls and a bunch of other things right next to the base, which is just one more reason that, in my opinion, that the base location that we chose is just absolutely superb. You're not going to be ever at a position to where you're literally lacking on one thing or another. Now, as we can see here, it looks like I'm getting kind of filled up. Okay, I've got an egg on me. We'll drop that. That's 7 pounds. I've got a couple of... Yeah, see, I've got a bunch of wood on me just from attacking. And then right back, I'm at my good weight again. So this dinosaur, as much as he is great, he definitely doesn't come without flaws. He picks up a lot of wood and a lot of natural resources through him, which, by the way, is a phenomenal thing if you're looking to get wood. But if you're just looking to travel around and you're trying to attack things and you pick up, 600 wood, it could slow you down. It could make it to where you get to the point where you don't have the option to dump things out of your inventory, and you unfortunately, you just don't have the ability to do it, and you may get overrun. So you gotta be real careful with him, but like I said, I honestly think that the good outweighs the bad. Am I going to fit through here? Oh my goodness gracious, I'm not going to fit through here. That is ridiculous. Alrighty, well, I'll take my big old fluffy bird somewhere else, but yeah, he's a great character. I've wanted a Spino for the longest time. And the reason I wanted a Spino so much is because the Spino actually swims even a lot faster than this guy does in water. Dude, a lot faster, actually. Here's some more Troodons. So that's what I was curious about. Well, the Troodons attack me, and they won't. But the Troodons actually have a torpor effect. If they hit you like 1 or 2 times, you're already torpored. You're unconscious, and you have to literally rely on the Dino that you have around, not being on passive, to be able to attack them, to where possibly you can kill them fast enough to where you just end up awaking on the beach or whatever else. But in most cases, those Troodons are actually pretty savage. Now, they only come out at night, so they're not that terrifying during the day. And in fact, during the day, they still have a torpor effect, but you can kill them fairly easily. What we're going to be doing right now is we're going to go back to the base here, and we're going to try to allocate some meat to some of the dinos that we do have that don't have that. So, let's see here. Let's see if I take any damage here. A little bit, not much. That's okay. So my recommendation is, I just did this recently, so I can't act like I've done this forever. So it was very, very new to me, which I'm sure is a very common thing for everybody that's playing this game now. But I hate to profess that I'm a genius on this, because I'm not. I played this game very rarely, and when I did, I probably wasn't very good at it. But I made some actually preserving bins. I haven't done electricity yet, but the preserving bins themselves have allowed me to keep a lot of the actual meat itself well for long into whenever I get back on the next day. Because you stack it in 20, you get like, you know, a couple stacks of it or whatever, and then you are able to actually have something to eat when you come in. Because there's nothing worse than getting onto the game in the morning or whenever you log in and realizing that your guy is hungry, and knowing that without going out on the Dino to kill multiple things to get meat, you're not going to be capable of actually doing that without, I don't know, going gathering berries or whatever else it is. So it's helped me out a lot. Just like that, we're full of stamina again. He really is a force to be reckoned with. This Therizinosaur, he's awesome. One other thing is, if you right-click, fiber. So not only do a lot of fiber actually. Like he multi-farms fiber. If you guys think this is one of those servers where you're getting a ton of stuff on, I can show you real fast. This is me. 12 fiber, 18. No, he got like 400 in like a couple of clicks. Like he's very, very proficient at that. Because I used to carry a sickle around as a means of getting fiber alone. Now I carry one just in case I'm not on this monster. So he's obviously very, very savage. The Allosaur, I've heard great things about the Allosaur. I just haven't seen a whole lot of them out of the Allosaur. He seems little stamina derivative. I mean, I'll show you guys. Is he great? Yeah. Is he? Do I think he's faster on land? Yes, I absolutely do. Look at his stamina go down. I mean, going down quite a bit now. The difference is, watch it go up. No, we're not even halfway down yet. I mean, just waiting. You know, it just takes a little bit longer, and dude, his damage and everything, it doesn't reflect the amount. Now, granted, he's about 100 levels lower than my other guy, or whatever else. So this guy wasn't a max level tank. But, I mean, the Allosaur is supposed to be savage. Now, I have not had 3 of them together to get the actual group bonus together. But I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. I hate to say that, but I just don't. Unless they just 10 times it, I just don't see it. So, turn the grill on here. We'll throw some meat on there. I definitely recommend throwing meat on here at mass amounts, and the reason I say that is not just simply because that it's just easy to do, but it's just, dude, this thing does it so quickly that you can just throw it over here in the preserving bin, and you've got it for a while. So we've got some silicone spark powder over here, but look at how much meat I've got, and this was from yesterday. I've got cooked prime meat from yesterday. So I think I have some server ping here. Yeah, 255. That's not good at all. I'm not really sure what's going on with the server. It does this sometimes. It usually corrects itself. But over here, I've got 1 species X. We were planning on doing something like this on top of the roof. What I was actually thinking about doing is doing this more on the grounds of the left and right spaces of the actual lake itself, and just putting them on high. And maybe putting some right here instead of actually on the roof itself, because it's so much easier to do the piping whenever you don't have to go like way out of your way to get water somewhere. So as you can see, we've already got 36 meat, so no, it doesn't take that much gas. And I just showed you where to get 3 different oil nodes, where you get probably about 40 or 50 oil a piece, so not a problem there at all. The only real problem you have with the actual preserving bins is you've got to make sure you keep spark powder in there, or they will just falter. So let me go make sure I got some spark powder in these preserving bins. Now later on when you get the air conditioners, you don't have to worry that much about it, because they are going to be much, much better. Yeah, see, we're still looking at a pretty high ping. See, it's going down. It's going down. And it's going up again. I have no idea what's going on. See, it caps at 255. That's so weird that it would just cap at one number, though. What's probably happening is I've got people in the room, they're watching TV, or watching some Netflix, or whatever else show, or whatever else it is. It just drains me. The internet provider we have here is just not the best. It's AT&T Uverse, but I think they're a good service, but it's, where we're at, they just don't provide the maximum that they can provide. But there's a reason I keep the RG outside, and there's a reason I keep the other ones in, the Pterodons. The RG is a little more buff. He's got a lot more HP. He's got a lot more ability to do damage. The reason the Tapahara is outside, even though he's just weak as all death, is that inside his fin goes through the roof, and I know that that's probably not a reason to keep him outside, but I don't like that at all. So what I may end up doing is, here's what I might do. As long as I remember, instead of just leaving him in here and then drawing something in here that kills him, I may leave him in here for the time being, just to keep him safe. There are things that do fall off the cliff. Dinos don't take falling damage when they're NPCs, so they'll fall off the cliff, and it may be a Rex, but I've got most of my stuff on aggressive, and the things I do have aggressive on, it can easily kill a Rex. My Theodore DiCaprio there, for one, is definitely one of those things that can easily do that, so... But what we're doing is I'd just like to find out if we can get some more meat. See, I think that's probably plenty for now. Well, I guess I could go ahead and make the rest of it if I'm going to be doing it. As long as there's enough space in here. I've got 24 spaces. Yeah, just in case I want to get on later tonight or whatever else, at least I don't have meat. I don't have to worry about starving and dying or whatever else to do. But as you can see, we've got water source right here. We don't have to worry about running out of water. We've got meat all around us, and the goodest, wow, that's, yeah, they're literate as shit. But the greatest thing is right here on the RG. If I wanted, let's say we knock something down, and or even on the Pterodon, I'm knocking something down, going back and forth. I'm just kind of strafing it to get it down. I can go get on my Therizinosaur, go kill a couple Brontos, get 20 prime meat, and to throw it on it if it's a carnivore. So that it's got a lot of tactical resource to it as well, you know, in this area. Because look at all the big dinos that are around here that offer prime. So it's a huge resource to get T-Rexes. I've never seen a Giga over here, but there are a lot of RGs at some points. It depends. Sometimes I've been looking for an RG and can't find a single one. Sometimes the RG's flying into our base and we can't get rid of them. So it just kind of depends on where you're at and how you want to look at it. But what we wanted to do is we were trying to get Quetzal, and we were going to actually place the Quetzal in here. The reason being is the Quetzal, even if it attacked, would not be able to fit through these holes. But in the same sense, though, he would be able to attack anything that came in here. And you can't really attack in the back of a flying mount unless you have a couple of people on a Tapahara or another Quetzal. We're going to keep him in there for safe being, but Quetzals are a little difficult to get. So we are still working on a pathway to get a Quetzal. Mainly because I want rhinos and mammoths and everything else, so that I can just literally fly in and drop into our training pit over there, and then just nuke them, or you know, narc them down, nuke them down, or whatever you want to call it, and then be able to have them as our arsenal of large creatures to go out and actually do some damage as far as tank creatures go. I think that's plenty, so we'll go ahead and leave this in here. We'll give us a spoiled meat later for some narcos, and we'll have 172 spark powder in here to keep all this cooked meat good. As you can see, some of it does go bad, but all that means is we can make more narcos. So, taking my Therizinosaurus out has given me one thing, though, and that is a whole crate full of just special items. So I've got a couple of things today, a couple of Rex helms, actually 3 Rex helms, I'm sorry. I've got Journeyman's this, I've got Mastercraft. I haven't got any Ascendant yet. I'm assuming that's probably going to be from the Rex. But I've had a lot of fun doing this stuff, guys. And again, if I didn't show you guys, the otter is just absolutely phenomenal. So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but It is so fun. I absolutely love the otter. I had one and I lost it, so I didn't go back and get one. But my fiance, she's definitely got one over there still. And this is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite things in the whole game right here. You can actually make the T-Rex roar, which is just savage. Now the Allosaurus actually does a roar. No, either does it or is it the other one? Maybe it's not the Allosaurus actually. No, it's not. It's this guy over here. He does it. I gotta make him stay awake though. He's sleeping. He will do a roar. It's just not quite as savage as the Rex roar. So obviously, I think that's just to just say whatever. I mean, obviously, I don't necessarily think there's going to be anything that's going to be so savage as the Rex roar. Let's look at a Giga of some sort. But even then, the Rex has such a following behind it. But anyways, guys, I just want to kind of show you guys the Therizinosaurus, and hopefully we'll do some more videos in the future with some other stuff. So you guys have a wonderful night. I'll look at you guys in the next video.